Good day, guys. Got some more tests to show on a couple of GPX 5000s. Could be any detector, but we'll use the GPX 5000 just to show you a modified one and a standard one and where we are up to with modifications. So what I'm going to do, I've got this one here. How about I just show you this one. This only come in recently. It does have the name on it on the other side, so I don't want to show that. And this is just standard. If I can, I'm going to take that off. How about I take that off? I'll stick that over there, upside down. It's got that seal on it. It's probably got another one on the bottom. No, it hasn't got one on the bottom. And you can probably just take my word for it. It's just a stock standard. I mean, I've got more up there too. So, but we'll just use this one. So what we'll do is we'll get this detector. I will set it to factory default. I'll do a frequency scan with it. I'm going to have it on this double D there, okay, in cancel mode. So I'll just show you. We'll turn it on. How about I'll put the other microphone on as well, just to boost the audio level out of it. Now, mind you, this is a stock standard detector. So I'll get this microphone here, and I'll put this one, should be working, and I think they both work together because I've done it before. We'll put it over here. Hope that's not too loud. Maybe I turn it down. I've got no idea on the audio levels. Okay, that should be, it's very close to the speaker. It should be okay, I hope. So what we'll do, we'll get this one here, and I'll just put it back into factory default settings. Okay, it's off, and I'm going to put it back on, of course. So you can hear it do all its bizzo. Okay. And ready, set, go. Okay, factory default. Now, what I'll do a frequency tune on it. So you can hear it chatter away in the background and go through its frequencies. I'm doing this in, I don't know what mode it's in, I'll have a look. Okay. It's in normal mode, deep, tracking is on, and cancel. So basically normal mode, we can do it in the other modes as well, but this is a yardstick detector. So just wait for it to go beep, beep, beep. Hopefully it does. Now you got to probably look at the time on the video to the test and then compare with the next set of tests I do after this. Okay, factory default. Now if you notice, it scanned the frequencies and it's still noisy as. Okay, now use the 0.05. Okay, you can see it there. And I'm just going to go across the coil. Okay. It hardly picks up that 0.05 in normal mode. It'll pick it up better in the other modes, of course, but if I run it in every mode, well, why not? We'll run it in every mode, but you got to remember what mode it was in if you're going to do a comparison to the timestamp on the video to where I use the same mode in the next part of the video when I swap detectors over. So it might get a bit tricky, but write it down on a piece of paper So what are we in? We're 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Normal mode. Standard detector. And you can hear the amount of chirp coming through, and I did a frequency scan. Okay, let's put this into special fine gold. And because it changes the timings, to be fair, I'm going to give it a frequency scan. Because it's not fair if it's ended up on a noisy piece of, noisy part of the spectrum, and it's going to generate a lot of noise. So I know it's pain in the proverbial waiting for it to go through the scan, but we're going to do it by the book. Now I'll show you some other stuff too with this, with ground balance. There we go. Okay, it's gone through, and 0.05. I am not joking. Notice you can't hear the signal. You can't hear it in the noise. Okay? Now, this is what I've been saying on a lot of things, and people, I don't know if people get it, I was going to say through their head, but I don't know if people really understand it. There's EMI coming in, but it's mixing with noise generated inside the detector itself. Its own electronics makes noise. And if we could get rid of all the noise sources, this detector would probably work a bit better. I don't know how much better. Whoopsie, just hit the camera. But there you go. Oh, try that. Might be a bit better if I do that. I've got to basically scrub the coil. Okay. What can I say? Let's try ground balancing it, right? Factory default settings. Now, I was going to make sure I'm going to put this into, it's in tracking. I go to fixed and back to tracking to get fast tracking going. So just have a listen. There we go. I'll do it again. It tracks, but doesn't track all the way out. So we just noticed that. That's in fine gold. How about I just do the same thing again? That was fine gold tracking test at 838, or near enough, 37, whatever. Now we're in normal mode. And into tracking. I'll flick it again. We'll call that about 95% tracked. I'm not going to worry about doing enhance. It's going to drag everything out, but enhance will and should get rid of all the ironstone. Now, I'm going to show you something else with this detector. I'm going to put the gain to 20, okay? I'm going to max out the back gain to 20. Stock standard detector. That's all we're going to do. We're getting the menu here. Okay, up goes the RX gain from 12 to 20. Now, I've increased the back end gain. Where's the signal? It's lost in the noise. So all we're doing is amplifying noise. Oh, I heard it. You can't hear it. It's gone. I'll kick it over into special. So 1030, special fine. Can't get it there. And all we're doing is amplifying bucket loads of noise. And I've done frequency scan. I'll do another one. It just takes time doing these videos if I keep doing frequency scans. So this is the standard factory 5000, nothing done to it. Let it do its noisy business. The new detectors are better, aren't they? Sort of instantaneous. They do a frequency scan, what, 5 seconds? 10 seconds odd? Not this, however long it takes. There it goes, it's finished, finally. Okay, so we've done a frequency scan, and I've got to scrub the coil to get a good signal. Slightly up. There's just nothing there. There's nothing there, really. And just for absolute clarity, how did I pull it apart and show you the circuit boards? There's nothing done to it. So we'll get this, okay? Serial number on this one ends in 770. I don't want to show the serial number because it's identifying the detector, but we'll just pull it apart right in front of your faces. Can you kick that over? And I'll put that down so you can see I'm still doing Mr. 770. As I know on all these videos and that, which people use certain tools to stop and start videos and do sleight of hand. We're not going to do that. We're just going to pull the whole thing apart. At 1330 odd. Oops. Damn. When you do this, sometimes the teeth on these don't grab on the head, and it's always a good idea before you actually pull the trigger on these to give it a wobble to make sure it slips in. Otherwise, it takes the teeth off your tool bit. So, okay, I need something sharp. I need to cut the, there we go, that'll do. It's going to cut the security label. Now what I do after you undo the screws, you've got to separate it a little bit. And do it on the case side, not on the other side. There we go. Otherwise it sticks on the gasket. And, okay, bear with me. Okay. The glue just breaks off the back of this. There it is. It doesn't do anything. After a while it dries out. So there's that part. Here, I'll just give that Charis. You can put it in the plastic box. And we still got this 770. Okay, this is how you pull these apart, by the way. So remember, it's got a mylar on the front too. Don't stretch it out. So there's this. I'll put that down there, and it's had no modifications done to this whatsoever. Have a good look. That's all that horrible white epoxy type paint you have to get through to do modifications. Makes it difficult. Very difficult indeed. You'd say it's never been apart. I mean, even the front's sort of like sticking there. This has not got any glue on it, and as you can see, the ferrite is original cable tie stuck to the board there with a bit of hot melt glue under it, painted with the same white paint. This has not been touched at all. Okay, so this is come in for upgrades. So just sort of, yeah, and I can't say who owns it because I don't want to do that, but you know, maybe you can tell by how dirty the front of it is. You know, you might know that's your detector with those particular marks on the front. But that's how it is. That is how these things are. Now, Chari, can you get me the other detector over there? This one's actually ready to go out the door, but I'm going to bring it back. Don't show the name on it. If you give it to me, thank you. Lucky the name is on that side. Anyway, it's a 5000. Yeah, she's laughing because I know we spun it around too far. Okay, anyway. Okay, let's do the same thing with this one, right? We'll do exactly the same. This one's modified. Okay, 1730 time, it is a modified detector. Now, I know a lot of people's going to go, oh, you're doing it in your workshop. It's not real life. No, I know that. But I've gone out with these things in real life situations. It doesn't make any difference. It works the same out in the field as one that is done and one that is not done. So
videos in the bush.
Yeah, I've got tons of videos in the bush anyway on 7000s, 6000s, 4500s, 5000s, all the way back to SD 2000. So if you want to go through the 230 plus videos that are on this channel, you will find all that information. There is side-by-side testing with 7000s, 6000s, and just about everything else. So, you know, there's some people just come up on the channel. They don't know the history of the channel. They don't know things that have been done in the past. They just don't know. So they just shoot off from the hip, not knowing any history. It's, you know, it's
scientific.
Yeah.
How can it be not scientific? You already tested it in a bush.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. It's been tested in the bush. It's been tested on test targets. So anyway, let's get on to this detector. This is a modified one. So I hope you time-stamped it and have a look at the original standard detector. Now we're going to hook this one up. So in it goes. Double D coil. And this one, I'm gonna make it really hard for it. How about not even go to a frequency tune, right? Not that you really need to anyway, because this has variable frequency in it. It also has, now you probably notice at the front, it doesn't have variable gain. It's a customer request that it was done a particular way, but I'm going to show you what and how this works. Okay, so we'll turn it on. We'll just have a listen to the background chatter. I haven't done the frequency scan on it. Still getting a little bit of noise, but not as much as the other one. Anyway, let's have a look where our settings are. Okay, on this one, RX gain is on 12, it's standard. Audio deep, stabilizer 10, signal 17, target volume 8, response normal, tracking slow, iron reject off. Manual tune, high frequency 255. Special fine, general for ground balance, volume limit 12. Now I don't want to do a battery test. I'm going to put this back on the gain setting. RX gain. Okay, now okay, it was in normal timings anyway. I put it in normal timings. So I put my stick behind it, 0.05, better shoot the coil. I don't know if you can notice that even though the EMI is still coming in, right, you can hear the target well above the coil. Wonder what that is. What sort of magic have we got here? We're not amplifying up the EMI. I have to think about this. Now, I know damn well what it is, but the people won't be able to tell you. They'll come up with some concocted rubbish that it's because of another reason or something. But beautiful clear signal. Now let's tempt fate. Remember, look at the other timestamps on normal. Well, actually, before I crank the gain up, I'm going to put it in the other modes. And I'm not even going to do a frequency scan. I'm just going to let it sit in the EMI wherever it lands. Okay. Special fine gold. Now, special fine gold is always more noisy. It just is. The way the timings work, they're coming in closer. So 0.05. I'm well above the coil now. We're getting somewhere around about here. It's getting lost in the noise a bit, but I can get it up that far on just standard gain. Now, how about we do a ground balance actually? Should have done ground balance at standard gain as well. So we're in normal. I'll just flick it into tracking. Ground balances, bang! It's ground balanced. Far better than the other one. Give it a bit of a rebalance. Just riding on the noise. There's no residual ground balance. So let's try it in. Oh, that was special. Special fine gold's a hard one to ground balance in. So let's have a look here. We'll put it in normal timings, and I'll do the same thing again. So on the other, when I first did it, this is now around the other way on the ground balance. But okay, let's give it a go. Give it a couple of flicks. Ground balances perfectly. It's just a noise there. It's just riding on the noise. So that's now in normal, and it's in normal. Still haven't done anything about changing channels or anything. So how about RX gain now is 20. Okay, so this thing is amplifying like crazy on its internal circuitry. Now, you remember on the other detector, the standard one, that was lost in the noise. You couldn't hear it. So there's heaps of noise coming through. It's pumping noise in a noisy workshop on a gain of 20. Now, let's make sure that I've got all the settings here I know I'm talking about. Okay, normal, we're in normal timings. Normal timings. Everything else is the same. It's in tracking. I'll just put it back to fix for fun. And we'll go over with the 0.05. Now, on the other detector, you couldn't hear it, right? There's no way known you could hear that in normal timings on that factory standard detector. Now you can. Let's go into fine gold. Special fine. We'll see what happens. 0.05. And the other one you couldn't hear it either. It was just lost in the noise. We're on a harmonica 50 hertz now. I can hear it going up and down, but hear it? It's going to make it really, really hard for myself. Look at that. I'm blasting through that EMI. Now, how can that be when we've got the same amount of EMI going into two detectors and on the same settings? One can hear the target, one can't. Why is that? Riddle me that, Batman. And you can do this to all the detectors, all of them, from the SD 2000 all the way to the 7000, 6000, the whole lot. The technical word of it, or for it, is intermodulation. Okay? That's what these detectors suffer from. So go look up what intermodulation is, and you'll find out how, and also look up mixes. Look up radio frequency mixes and then try and work it back into lower frequency stuff. Well, it's still RF to a degree. It's glorified audio amplifier. But the gain of 20 on this, and the other one lost in the noise. Okay, now this has more gain than the other one, but wouldn't more gain boost up all the EMI? Of course it would. It would. So what's the overall effect? That the EMI is not killing the signal? I wonder. That is the big question for everyone to ask, and go and do some research, okay, on all sorts of EMI, internal power supply leakage, intermodulation, diode rectification, all sorts of stuff, and you will learn possibly why this is working so much better. Now, how about I'll crank the gain to 1 and I'll show you. I didn't do this on the other detector, but I'll do it on this one. That way. Okay, that's got a gain of 1. So it's not going to amplify much at all. But can we still get the target? Let's have a look at what we could call the noise figure. Now, if I did this on that other detector, I'd scrub the coil. I will not even hear it. It will not detect it whatsoever. This one, the modified one, gain of 1. And it's so much louder too. You don't have all the noise coming in. You don't have any big discrepancy in anything. You know, there's a 0.05 and on a gain of 1, how high can I get it? out there. So massive amounts of gain is not your friend. It's not, especially if you've got EMI. You know, someone out there who did a video and said to get the same depth as something else, they had to crank the gain up to 18. That's just going backwards. That's putting the cart in front of the horse. That's really, really crazy. Yeah, I know. Chari's just playing around some gold, taking photos of it. But anyway, yeah, that's special. I'll put it in normal mode, gain of 1. It's actually louder than the standard detector on a gain of 12. So if you want to hear small, hard to detect signals or even big, deep targets, don't run massive amounts of gain. It's not like a racing car. You're not going fast. You don't want to get to the end fast. You just want to do it and get there, but keep it quiet, okay? So there's all your gain settings on this, and all your except for, I didn't do it. I can do enhance. How about we do enhance? Right, I can enhance it again or 1. So that's enhance it again or 1. Not a problem. Yeah, I should have done that on the other one too, but it basically is about the same as fine gold, so that's why I don't bother. Fine gold is the hardest mode to work by increasing gain in the detector, which is sometimes, not always, but can be counterproductive and bring in EMI that mixes with internal noise in the detector. And it's a matter of 1 + 1 mixing together. It just mixes in any semiconductor junctions in the detector. Anything acts as a diode junction, acts as a frequency multiplier either by 3 or 2, and then the 3 can become 5, and you get all this intermodulation, and it causes lots of noise fingers over the whole spectrum of the detector, how it wants to listen. And it gets in everywhere. It can just get in on the supply rails, just capacitive or inductive coupling between tracks, componentry, layout. There's a lot of reasons why this happens, and yeah, that's what we take care of. So you can run a lot more gain if you want. If you got well, even here, you've probably seen the EMI is the same. There's no difference. I'm not turning off the workshop. And the signal to noise ratio is much better in a modified detector because it has a lower noise floor. And that is the crux of the matter, to get the noise out, okay? So, little tiny signal on a gain of 1 is better than running around with standard detector on a gain of 12. And this thing here, you can go back and look at all the time stampings. This detector, the modified one here, actually belongs to a guy called Eric. So Eric, that's your detector. So I'll put that in there as well. No last names. But your detector is an absolute ripper. It's an absolute champ of a detector. So, and Eric did say it did have a fault with it too, that was popping up beforehand. That fault's definitely gone, mate. It's not there anymore. So, all fixed and working beautifully. Would you like to work this detector out in the goldfield? 100%. I would use this in a heartbeat, not a problem. It is awesome. And it's got so much range if you want to use the back gain. Everything on the front end on this is where you want it to be. And the way I've done it, I've changed a lot of stuff, and even in the transmit output, I've changed stuff. So, and especially the receiver part of it, it's whole new receiver been put in there. So, what a nice detector, what a really good detector. So anyway, I'll kill it. I'll turn it off. Guys, if I did miss any testing in a particular way and you want to know how it works, let me know. Hang on a second. Did I try and ground balance this, right, at a gain of 20? I wouldn't do it with the standard detector. It won't do it. I know that for a fact. How about I do that? Let's try and ground balance it on a gain of 20. Okay, so I'll just turn it on again. This is a real acid test. God, if I can read the display. You got to be on the other side of the detector to read the display. I don't know why. Contrast. Okay. Okay. Gain of 20. Highest frequency we can run. Special fine gold. Now, this is crazy. Doing this on a bed of complete iron. It's not even ironstone's iron. It's completely, utterly, totally magnetic. It must be about 90% iron. Every bauble in there, and under that one. Well, I'll just show you anyway, so you know. Hang on, get that down. Oh. Even got big lump of Dunolly clay in there, but sorry, now I made dust everywhere. Sorry, but oh shit. Well, at the moment, I'm toasting my nuts. My peanuts. Oh dear. Yeah, I just got, oh my god, that's horrible. I just put ironstone dust everywhere by doing that. But I'll do the magnet test on it for you as well. I'm going to do it. Hang on. Have we got a bag or something? I don't want to do it with the magnets. It takes. Oh dear. Hang on a second. Do I have any of these containers that got nothing? I need a bag or something to do this, or else. Hang on, I know what to do. I've got a bag of knobs here. I'll just tip them out into that container. Put the magnet in there. See, people don't see my old videos. So I've done this in the old videos, but they don't go back and look at them. They don't know. So I have to do it again and again. It's just like they don't know that I've done side-by-side testing with all these modifications on detectors, because they don't go back and look at the old videos. I can't keep making videos and saying, oh, I'm back out in the field again, and doing the same. It's just, I know the process, I know how it all works, but there we go, one magnet, and, thanks for coming, right? Everything in there is completely magnetic. And the only way to get the stuff off the bag is lift the magnet up, and hopefully doesn't walk up with it. So yeah, that is how, this is crazy stuff. And under here, which I don't want to drop it, there, that's your Dunolly dirt. That is really, really hot Dunolly dirt. It's got a lot of iron in it, but whoopsie, bang that. So this is what we're doing our tests on. Out in the goldfields, it's nowhere near as bad as that. Anyway, let's get this. I'll flick this into tracking. Fine gold, flat out. Here we go. totally tracks it out, okay? And everyone doing detectors out there have massive problems with fine gold at high frequency and really, really bad ground. So this is, I've got this on a gain of 20, by the way, and super reactive ground, and I can perfectly ground balance it out. And someone's trying to ring me again. The man with the XRF who's running around the field at the moment is trying to call me, so I better, but you know, like I say, I'll probably turn the wrong one. That's that one. Is it? There you go. It's back on a gain of 1. So it hears it on a gain of 1. The other one won't. And I'm not joking. I can do that on any standard detector and it just won't detect it. So what do we say? You know, like I said in a previous video on all the detectors we do, the 6 and 7, that we don't do your detector to go and go down, you know, an extra 20% deeper or something, because it's not the name of the game. Your detector's probably already doing that 20% deeper, but its internal noise mixing with EMI is cutting it out that you can't hear it. So this is what people got to understand, that if you're using something like a target that big, you're probably going to hear it at a particular depth, and even with the noise floor drop, you're still going to hear it, and you're probably not going to discern that it's different. You're going to just think, oh, it's doing exactly the same. It's not the case. But in the ground, with the amount of noise mixing, it's so much less. And you can't go and stick your antennas out like, your coil is an antenna, out like that, mix in so much EMI, and then start waving things in air and that. It just, technically similar, but why do I get a particular result and other people don't? They don't contact me about it. They just, one person in particular doesn't contact me about it, has made no phone call to us to say anything, and carries on like a pork chop. But some mothers do have them, and they are out there, I tell you that. And then the fan club comes in, and you know, because like I say, there are 2 camps or 3 camps, or probably more, in this detector business. And yeah, they you get your fanboys. I suppose I've got mine, and others have theirs, and they all come in and pat each other on the back and carry on like pork chops. So it's interesting. So that's why I like doing these tests. It's controlled in the workshop. I can show you. EMI is exactly the same. Out in the goldfield, EMI fluctuates. So how about the EMI from a house running a generator is on with one detector doing a test, and then turns it off, or the washing machine goes off, or whatever, and I do another test, and I go, oh, look, it's quieter or something, or, you know, oh, that's different. It's opposite to how I thought. But here it's controlled. The amount of stuff on is on, and it doesn't fluctuate. The neighbour could put their TV on or something. Maybe that will cause an issue. I don't know. I'm not talking about LCD TVs, but if they had an old tube type or something, yes, they do radiate energy like crazy, and straight through part of the spectrum. You know, the refresh rate, you know, 16.225, was it 16.250 kilohertz? There you go. Right where the detectors operate on the old scan frequency on an old TV or CRT monitors. They're all around, it could be 15 kilohertz or 16 something. I haven't touched a CRT for so long that I don't even know how I even remember that. So, you know, it's, you know, who knows what's out there? Who knows what your neighbour's got? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what people are firing up all over the countryside? You just don't know. And as soon as you start drawing current through the power lines, especially if it's a pulsing on off, the power lines will go like, they will partially radiate the same frequency as the on off, and that can cause a lot of interference. So if you want to go out detecting when it's really quiet, go out at 2 o'clock in the morning when no one's doing their cooking, no one is doing their clothes wash. Well, some people do, but no one's running their washing machine normally at 2 a.m. There's no heavy electrical equipment on, except for maybe a few electric blankets, right, which draw about 10 watts or something. But the noise isn't there, and during the day it is. So even on location, consistent noise is hard to obtain. And I've listened to people out there, and the noise on the EMI, it just goes up and down. It could be fluctuation through like ionospheric propagation of HF radio waves. It can be anything. It's all in the pass band of the metal detector, especially up to about probably 3.5 megahertz or so. So, there's all this noise that poor things have to contend with. That's probably enough of a video on this, but go and look at the timestamps of how this actually works, and then you'll know. Dare I do another? Let's randomly grab a 5,000. How about, just to prove a point, I'll randomly grab another 5,000, right? And I shouldn't even have that going. It's noisy. I don't mean noisy. I mean it's just annoying. I'm having that tone go all that time. So yeah, that's yeah. You put that back where it was. That's Eric's. Okay. No, it's all right. I did say that before, but I didn't say any last names. There's a lot of Erics in this world. It's probably about 2 million of them, so or more. Let's have a look. What's this one here? Oh dear. Okay. Just stood on the drill. Ouch. Okay. It's got. That's an easy one to remember. I'm just taking the stickers off, and I'm going to put that one there. And it's got, damn it. Hang on. Got more the job sheet here. This one hasn't been done either. It's waiting. So if you want to know, this person's got the same name as me, and just so you know it's your detector, you also want a lightweight battery kit with high capacity bat for this GPX. Okay, so I'm not saying anything else. I'm going to take that off, and I'll make sure I don't look. I'll put it in the drawer. Okay, I need Chari to. I'm taking all the labels off these detectors with names and stuff, so I don't want to muddle them up. So in the drawer it goes. That one down there. Yeah. Oh no, don't worry about it. That's all right. I'll look after it. I know. No, I can do it. Okay. So yeah, this one ends in 7.3, but okay. I just want to make sure there's no identifying marks on it or anything. Not marks, but anything that's got a name written there in texture or something. As you can see, that's factory. Okay, factory GPX-5000. Another one. I'll just do it again. I'll do two because it'll prove that one is not faulty or something, or someone's going to have a comeback and say, "Oh no, it's not working properly." Okay, I'll do two. That's pretty weird to get two that come in for modifications that are completely stuffed, or anything. Okay, so this one's in absolute pristine condition too. it's good. So what I'll do, I'll just put him back into factory default. All settings. And there, put it normal, there, deep, and I'll give it a tune. Lots of messages coming through as usual. I really should get on to these detectors and get them done and out, and rather than making videos. But I just want to explain exactly how this stuff works and all the rest of it. So, okay, this detector here, I just want to go through the settings, make sure it all went to defaults. Okay. So it's had a tune. I put in fixed, cancel, normal, deep, and everything else factory default. Now let's have a look. 0.05. This one is totally deaf. Okay. Oh, I heard it. This has got no gain. It is deaf as a post. The variance between detectors is outstanding, isn't it? So, I'll put in a special. Put in a special fine. That's woeful. Nothing. Zero. I mean, I had the other one again, a 1, and powering, and anyway, I don't know what to do about that. It just I'll put it in enhance just for fun. Dear me. And people out there are wondering why their stock detectors, like even their 5000s, can't compete with the 6000. Well, there's your evidence. It's just got no grunt to it. It's no gain. What do I say? That other one there, powers on. It powers on. And even though it does sound probably a little bit more chirpy than this, but then I'm talking about the noise floor. We're dropping the noise floor, and the signals are obtainable with. You know, this is less than that other one, and maybe there is a problem with one. Hang on a second. I was going to put its stickers back on. Otherwise, it'll get out of control. So I don't want to muddle them up. Dave does take them in and write down the serial numbers to the people that own them, but you know, I don't want to pester Dave saying, "Oh, who owns that detector again? I took the labels off and misplaced them." So, because he'd think I was a bit of a dickhead if I did that. Okay. That's 45. I was trying to look at 45, 45. How about we have a look at one with variable gain on it? Okay. GPX 5000. This one's been done, so I'll just give you a comparison. I'll even be pedantic and do the coil connector up. Normally I don't, but I will. Because if you're not wiggling it around, it doesn't make any difference. Okay. We'll have a look and see what this is sitting on. Fixed. Cancel would help. Put on special. This one here, the front end gain, the front end, it's got variable gain. It's turned all the way down. Oh, so I'll just check the back settings. I just want to make sure where we are. Okay, manual tunes 239 because it's got variable frequency in it. Well, how about I'll turn it up to 255. Special fine, ground balance general, volume at 12. I think I went the wrong way, going back to battery test. Okay. Deep. Motion very slow. RX gain is 12. Audio deep. Audio tone, stabilizer 10, signal 17. Target volume in response on this is inverted. I'm going to put it to normal. On reject off. So, there's this one. Running, special, deep, cancel. It's in fixed, but listen how, even though it's on a gain of 1, listen how quiet the background audio is. I'll turn it up because it is soft. And it's not threshold. It's that when you lower the noise floor in the componentry, especially at the front end, all that noise doesn't get amplified and doesn't pump up the threshold. As well, basically, I'm not joking, the threshold on that is flat out. That's full threshold. How quiet's that? I'll show you that in case you don't believe me. There it is there. 0 threshold. Not even get a peep through the detector. Full threshold. There it is. That is so quiet. That's beautiful. Let's start turning the gain up. That's a little bit of gain. And look at the signal come up. Oh, I haven't got, you can't see the call. Look, this is, I know it's an extended video, but we're right on the 1 hour mark now. You know, if you're going along, you'd pull up on that easy as. It's so quiet. Let's keep going. I want to pick up some EMI to get it mixing in the detector to prove that it doesn't affect these detectors. Now, you can hear the EMI coming in. It's going, you know, and what's happening, where I was getting the signal before, it's mixed in there. You can't hear it. That's what I'm saying. A lot of times you need enough gain, but you don't want too much. If you've got EMI in the area, you should minimize the gain to tackle the EMI out of the system. We've got tons more gain to go to see how it works out. The signal's in there, it's just in the noise. It's because it's amplified too much EMI coming into the detector. So you don't want to detect like that. It could be on a noisy channel. I didn't do a frequency scan or anything like that. So how about hang on. Went the wrong way as usual. As soon as I lean over backwards on these detectors, I go the wrong way. Sounds a little bit quieter, but I might be just kidding myself. Like I say, if you get into an area with no EMI or less EMI, you can crank the gain up massively. This is just that these coils are not properly balanced, even though they're a double D. It's just the way that, it's fat windings, small, skinny windings, more turns, less turns, and different damping and all sorts of stuff. It's just variances between both. And also, one of the coils also has some loading on it in the circuitry for the ion reject to work, so it unbalances the input stage as well a little bit, but it will throw out the cancellation. So, but there you are. There's the tale of a handful of detectors. So yeah, make of that what you want. It's much better out in the field, of course, because you don't have a workshop surrounding you making tons of EMI. But just the threshold on it, God, that was quiet as. That's really good. That was on, it was all on special. I mean, how would I redo it? I'll do it again on normal timings, just so you get an idea. I know a lot of people out there that, in a lot of cases, the noise. Just turn the gain down. No noise. The thing is, the back gain doesn't get the noise out of the front end because it's working further down in the circuitry. It has no effect on the front end of the detector whatsoever on these models, and that's why it's got noise. Anyway. Still get on normal mode that zero thing, but better than but listen how quiet it is. I mean, it is dead quiet. You can tell damn well that how the you should be able to tell how the electronics is working by how quiet it is. that's like gain turned down to nothing. It's actually the gain actually works out on that to, yeah, it's well under minus 10 dB. So it's could be 10 or 20 times less standard gain. But the thing is, because it's such low noise, you can still hear that. Need a wider lens camera, but about there somewhere. So if you got really good headphones on that are getting rid of all external noise, and you went detecting like that, in a noisy environment, you'd be able to cut out so much EMI, but use the lower noise floor to bring the signals up, that you'll be able to hear them when normally they'd just be lost in the chatter. You wouldn't be able to hear them. So this is the methodology behind the modifications on these detectors. So, it is working quite well. I'll put it into tracking just for fun of it. One more for good luck. Yeah, I mean, on a gain of 1, of course you're going to track it out, but gain of 1. Well, it's gain of zeros. Hang on. We'll get some chatter into it. And notice that if I alter the gain, it'll alter the ground balance as well. It should do. So back in the fix, back in the tracking. The most important thing on your detector is to make sure that it ground balances. That's in normal. We can push it further, of course. Very ground balance. Anytime you do any frequency changes, or you do mode changes, or you alter the gain on the detectors, redo the ground balance, always. About there, sorry, but I'm moving my arm all over the place. But the thing with these detectors is just as much as possible keep the noise out of it, because it is going to have an effect. If we had no EMI here, I cranked that right up. It picked up normal. They'd be picking up here somewhere. It'd be really, really high. But can't do that at the moment. There's just a bit too much noise around. Yeah, it's across the whole spectrum. We're just taking it down to about 180 on the frequency, and it's just burbling away. Put in a special. Keep forgetting to do that. Even so, this one has modifications done to it. The first one, sorry, not the first one, the second one I did, I said it was Eric's. that has had more done to it, and it's a far more. It's quiet, but it's got more punch, and I think I might have to incorporate that into all the future ones. Not saying the others is a deficiency, but it's definitely new parts come available, and I put them in because I suspected where there was a problem, it was in those parts, so I put them in. Basically, no, I'm not going to say what it is because, yeah, uh, some. We can just say this: sometimes capacitance is your friend, and sometimes it's your enemy, and sometimes um, resistance is your friend, and sometimes it's your enemy too. Oh wow! And sometimes inductance is your friend, and sometimes it's your enemy. And if all those three don't get along, you have problems. Leave it there. That'll just do some people's heads right in. But guys, that is where we are with this stuff here. And like I say, when I do the 7000s, I do set up that other coil as a cancel coil. You know, the one I have in bits. I just do the phase change, and I can do measurements before and after, and I can detect the change in the noise floor of the detector. So it's going to add to your gold tally. Also, if you get rid of the noise out of your detector, it should be able to detect the same targets at a particular gain setting where you have to raise the gain for well, it's interesting how you're going to put how I'm going to put this in things. You should be able to pick it with the modified ones. You should be able to pick up the same target that it's still listenable and you can hear it over the noise at a lower gain setting. Don't go the other way and start amplifying all the crap and bring it into the detector to make it try and sort it out. But you know, that's why I did link on the shorts that fellow that did the thing with the 6. He was running on a gain of 2 bars, and he's got the gold to show for it. So it's the way to go. I know people that crank those things flat out and can't work out why they don't have any small gold. Do an experiment. Get a small bit of gold. Crank the thing near flat out. Go over the gold, and have a listen to the EMI at the same time, and then crank it all the way back and go over the gold. What's easier to hear? You know. Oh dear. Oh well. Yeah, it is just what it is. Anyway, look, that's way too long a video on this, and like I say, I can do all sorts of different tricks, and I'd go waste a whole day out in the bush doing tests. No work gets done. I've got people wanting their detectors done, so I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do these detectors rather than going out in the bush and retesting everything I've already tested, and I know how it works anyway. Occasionally, what I do, David lives closer to the Canadian diggings and that, so when the detectors go back to him, if I have any I don't know, it was like, I think there might be something amiss or something, and I can't find it in the workshop. David runs out and will test it in the bush and report back if it's doing something or not doing something. So I do get that feedback as well. Yeah, so even now, even on my own detectors, I feel like I'm pulling them apart and redoing them. But it never stops. You know, it's you got to keep going and going and going on this stuff. Otherwise, I've always said you'll be stuck driving a T model Ford, or you'll be still detecting with an SD 2000, or even worse, a Bounty Hunter 840, because there's no innovation. So innovation is the name of this game, and it's the way to get more performance is innovate all the time. We don't stand still and let technology fly past us and not take advantage of it. If new discoveries, components, anything better comes along, it's better to incorporate it into detector design, or else we won't have any 6000s and 7000s, because no one would have taken the step to innovate to make those detectors. So, I've heard people use different arguments to say, oh, it's never the same. Well, it is over a given time period, but it's going to innovate. You're going to change it. So anyway, that's a lot of waffle and a lot of mucking around and a lot of hours flying out of my day. So I am going to go and catch us later.